Hello and welcome back to DJ Gamer 5280. This time I've got a video for you about making my push through trophies to get to the Crystal League as a Town Hall 7. So as this first round comes up, you'll see that this is a base that's been attacked before. It's not part of a clan, so it's pretty much abandoned. So I thought I'd have a pretty good time getting the trophies out of this one and the extra loot as well. And as you can see, I'm at a point right now where my troops are pretty much taken care of except for my barbarians and my hog riders getting to their last levels before maxing out before Town Hall 8. And that's kind of why I decided at this point it was a good time to go ahead and push for some trophies and see how far I could get. And so on this base, yeah, just definitely taking care of the hog riders and the giants with the heal spells, making sure they kind of barrel their way into the center. This one had a pretty wide core, which meant for me that I thought, yeah, it would be pretty easy for the hog riders and the giants to move around in there, take care of the defenses in there. And the perimeter kinds of defenses, like those couple of cannons that are in compartments of walls, weren't actually that much of a danger, especially with well-placed heal spells. So at this rate, it's going pretty smoothly here. So I just kind of want to make a note at this point that, yeah, most of my stuff, except for a couple of troops maybe, or maybe a few more walls, they're pretty much maxed out. So that's where I definitely decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push myself in trophies. I had the extra resources to spend on things like a few extra hog riders to try to beef up my armies and see how far I could push. And I didn't have to worry about the extra priority that comes with trying to get upgrades done as far as troops or base structures are concerned. So at this point, the timing just kind of left me with a pretty good opportunity to be able to see how far I could go. So you can see I'm definitely in Gold 1 now, and I kind of thought it was going to be a little more challenging to push my way through some of these bases, but I just managed to find some ones that not only had a decent amount of loot going for them, but also had their lacking in defenses, whether it was empty clan castles or things like that. So at this point, these guys are all wrapping up, just going to take out the last of these army camps to finish things off. And then that's going to go ahead and get me some trophies. I believe 16? Yep, 16 in fact. And let's go ahead and see what happens in the next one. Alright, now I'll show you how I got 14 more trophies here. This one, another Town Hall 7 base. This one didn't seem to have very their defense was actually kind of quickly rushed on this one, so that's what made this one attractive. Additionally, having as much loot as it did. Now, what came to my surprise at first is that Clan Castle Dragon popping out. So I thought I was going to have a hard time with that. They was going after the giants at first, but then started going after a few of the other little archers and wizards that popped out there. And so I'm kind of thankful that happened, because I noticed when Clan Castle Dragons go after things like giants or hog riders, the splash damage that they have does tend to cause a lot of harm. And so the Clan Castle Dragon does get taken out in time before any trouble happens, and placing a couple of heal spells to follow along with the hog riders and the giants to make sure that they stay in the game. Although it's a bit of a less of a worry this time. You can see that like a lot of the archer towers and the cannons aren't very fully developed, and I could have even gone pretty strongly by air in this one because the air defenses weren't very strong either. On top of that, you do have one of the wizard towers upgrading there, so the hog riders and the giants made pretty quick work of the defenses, and this does make for a pretty swift raid. And I did get quite a few resources out of it, since I did collect it all there. Almost 1,000 in Dark Elixir was probably my favorite part, because at this point, if I haven't already been upgrading my hog riders right now, definitely wanted to make sure that I had enough of the Dark Elixir to do that. So, yeah, they're just taking down the last of these things on the outside to make sure that I get all the trophies out of this. And I do kind of like seeing how many hog riders and giants are remaining. That pretty much means that they were very strong against the defenses that were in this base. And so with that, that gets me another 14 trophies. And so let's go ahead and see what happens next. Okay, so I got 2 more raids to show you for this video as I keep the trophy pushing going. So I got another Town Hall 7 here, and this one didn't have quite as much loot, but it was definitely worth the trophy, so that's why I went after it. A couple of the defenses are kind of weaker there, so I figured it wouldn't take too much time for them to be taken out and cause a lot of disruption to the hog riders and the giants or any other troops that happen to be in their range. So as you can see, I keep those giants and hogs pushing in there. I kind of usually have a two-front thing going with those to make sure that the defenses are evenly distracted, and that way any archers and wizards or goblins that come out don't end up getting taken out as much. Definitely did a pretty good job of tanking on those a lot of the time. Put some balloons out of the clan castle this time. I don't always do that. Usually I ask for hog riders to help me out with these kinds of raids. But balloons can be pretty helpful, especially in a base like this, where the air defenses were already kind of weak anyway, and the balloons being the support troop that they were, they didn't really end up taking a lot of harm from the other defenses. And so we speed it up here to get me to 3 stars and a whopping 23 trophies. So at this point, it seems like I'm getting somewhat closer to taking care of my Crystal League goal here. So we got one more base here to take a look at. This one is actually a Town Hall 8. But the Town Hall 8 is not exactly rush, and maybe the mines and collectors are and stuff. But I don't make a priority of that myself when I'm doing my upgrades. Sometimes I won't max those out before I go up to the next Town Hall level because I don't find them as much of a priority. But once the defenses, walls, and troops are getting done, then I definitely make sure to take care of upgrading the Town Hall without worrying about those mines and collectors so much. So as you might have noticed here, my Hog Riders are now level 2 at this point, so the only thing I had left after that, I believe, was just getting the Barbarians to level 4, and definitely well within the time that I needed to get this done before Town Hall 8 starts up for me. Definitely made sure that I maxed just about everything out when it came to getting to Town Hall 8. I remember last time around I did probably upgrade my Barbarian King all the way to level 5. I probably didn't upgrade all the Dark Elixir troops that I could have, and the walls especially also kind of rushed on those a little bit. But this time around I took my time because I definitely wanted to enjoy Town Hall 7. It is one of my favorite Town Hall levels, if not, yeah, pretty much my favorite, I gotta say still. Town Hall 7 is very fun and enjoyable for me when it comes to being able to start off with the Hog Riders and the Barbarian King and get the Dragon armies going. So definitely wanted to enjoy it while I could. That's one of the reasons why it was pretty easy for me to consider doing the trophy pushing. So the quest to the Crystal League will continue. Be sure to check my next video to see how it turns out.